Welcome to Now That's Smokin'. I'm Kel Phelps, your host, bringing over 30 years of barbecue passion as publisher of Barbecue News Magazine and also managing partner now of the National Barbecue and Grilling Association. From my younger days on the competition circuit to helping lead the barbecue and grilling industry, I'm here to share some of the untold stories, spark plenty of laughs, and maybe even share a few tips or tricks you may not even know yet from some of the biggest names in the barbecue world. Join me as we take a deep dive into barbecue's heart and soul with the Now That's Smokin' interview series. Guys, welcome. Now That's Smokin', episode 3 already. Got a special treat for you guys now today, man. You've been paying attention to the barbecue shows in the last couple of years. This guy right here is definitely no stranger at all. Winner of BBQ Showdown Season 2 and fresh off Food Network Barbecue Brawl, I think Season 6, I believe it was. Please welcome Thyron Mathews, man. Man has definitely a thick tradition in grew up cooking barbecue old school with pop. And something you don't see a whole lot today, man, but it sure does creates a flavor profile that is almost really tasty, hard to duplicate what we tired, man. Thank you for coming to hang out with us today.
Hey, Kel, I sure appreciate you and your wife and the barbecue community, and I'm just blessed to be part of this show, part of y'all guys' stories, and just thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit about me and about my family, about my heritage, about everything. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm blessed.
Man, you are most welcome. We're honored to have you. So, with that, hey, we're gonna pay a bill or two, and we'll jump right back in it here in just a second.
From serious backyarders to caterers, food trucks, and restaurants, cookersandgrills.com builds custom barbecue pits to fit your needs. We're talking top-of-the-line smokers, grills, and mobile units, custom built to your specs, finished right, and ready to feed any crowd. Cookersandgrills.com, where great barbecue begins.
All right, guys, back from the break. Now That's Smokin', episode 3, the interview series with special guest Thyron Mathews today. Thyron, man, I understand you just got off of work and jumped up here on us real quick, and but we sure appreciate you taking your time, hang out with us. So tell us a little bit, man. Who is Thyron? Where you come from, and how'd you learn to barbecue so much, man? Where'd you learn all those good traditions from your family?
Well, I tell you what, I come from humble beginnings. Small town called Royal, Florida, Royal, Florida. Growing up there, my family was small town farmers. We had pigs, we had goats, we had some chickens. My grandfather had cows and hogs and all that good stuff. And barbecuing always been one of those things that brought the family, brought the community together, brought everybody together. And in Royal, Florida, everybody had a pit. It was like, you go and you want to show off a classic car. In Royal, Florida, you go and you show off your pit. And I remember my first seeing my mom and dad, more as I can remember, was an old refrigerator that was hollowed out. And then our old refrigerator, that's what we used to cook delicious direct cooked ribs with the mop sauce. So we grew up cooking like that. My grandfather had a brick pit, and that's what Royal was about. It's about community. It's actually one of the oldest black communities in the state of Florida, and it's the only place in the United States of America that the slaves got their 40 acres, and the land is still in my family's name to this day.
So explain to us where that is down in Florida. What part of Florida is that, and exactly where is it located?
It'll be Central Florida, around the Florida Turnpike, right there between Leesburg and Old Keller.
Okay, Ocala. Yeah, man.
It,
So
around the
yeah,
Florida Turnpike.
know that area very, very well down there, man. Used to hang out at Big Daddy Don Garlett's drag
Okay,
racing.
okay.
It's a museum now, but it used to be his garage down there. But
I know exactly where that's at. That's right off the Bellevue exit.
that's it. That's it,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
So let's talk about the freezer, man. I've seen some crazy I've seen some filing cabinets used as smokers. I can't say that I've ever seen a freezer, man. How did y'all figure that deal into a barbecue pit without burning it up?
Man, so my family was all about using everything.
Yeah.
Growing up with the, humble. Basically, they take all the insulation out, take everything out, and back then, those refrigerators were made solid. And my daddy used to cut a hole in the back of it, lay it flat on the ground. Well, the refrigerator's 6 foot tall, and it was the big old chest refrigerators, and he used to shovel coals up under there and had a expanded metal grate going across that thing. And man, that thing would
Okay.
produce some of the best barbecue ever. Cooking on coals, and we had a lot of goat and hog on those grills and ribs.
Man, I tell you what, now that's something else. I would you're gonna have to share some photos with us when we one of these days. You're gonna have to figure that I've seen truck beds used. I've seen, like I say, I have seen some crazy things used for barbecue pits. I've never seen a freezer, but I see now when you talk about stripping it out, taking all the insulation down, whatever, bringing it down to the bare frame. I see where it can be used that way now. But
And I'm quite
good, good.
sure
So
them.
let's talk about the mop sauce, man. So where did the mop sauce come from that you guys use?
So family, everybody in our community had their own version of a mop sauce. A mop sauce always consisted of vinegar as the main, vinegar and some lard, as the main
Right?
ingredients. But my family was known to make a sweeter mop sauce. A lot of people weren't familiar with the sweeter mop sauce, so we used to add a little bit brown sugar in our mop sauce just to add like a little hint of sweetness. Because all we had at that time to season our meat with was some salt, some pepper, and some garlic. Kind of just very elementary seasons. We back then you
Right.
couldn't go in the store and pick out all these beautiful seasonings that you use. And that mop sauce, it just something that we made. I remember my granddaddy and my dad going to the store and telling me, "Hey, I need you to wash these ribs." There was no cell phone, there was no was no FaceTime, and I remember being 7 or 8 years old, sitting there with a brick pit. It was a brick pit at this time. It was at my grandfather's house, and I remember sitting there mopping those ribs and coming back, and my dad and my grandfather were like, "Boy, you did a good job," and I always they didn't tell you did a good job every day, because they didn't want you to get the big head. But when they told me that, that was like being blessed by the Pope.
I hear you, man. So
Yes, sir.
that's what got you hooked. You was hooked then, no doubt.
Uh, yes, I was. Well, it was more of a chore. It was more something to do. I didn't know I was learning, because it was just like, hey, go out there in the woods and cut and get some of the old blackjack oak and bring it here and put it on the burn pile. And we get an old bamboo saw, or old axe, and we'll chop up the wood and burn it down, and then get a shovel and get the coals and put up under the pit. Traditional style of barbecue. Very labor intensive, but that's what you
Yeah.
did. And then on the other half, we was making cracklings. If you weren't making
Oh, yeah.
cracklings, you were doing certain things to cook the whole animal. So outdoor cooking was just the thing that we did, and we loved to do it.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, that's definitely when you talk about labor intensive. Just got released the first episode with Myron mixing, and his dad. So that's the way he learned to barbecue, burning down, and they do that memories class or whatever. I can't wait to get back there and do that again. But it is a dying breed for sure, folks that cook that way, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. And I feel like
So
if you learn how to cook, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go, man.
Okay, so I feel like if you learn how to cook the old fashioned way, it's like learning math the long ways. No calculator, like using your fingers, adding 5 times 5 is 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, that's 5 times 5, 25. So it's like learning math the old way. You can always adapt. But if you learn math on a calculator, without that calculator, it's hard to do. So same thing I kind of apply smoking. If you learn the hard ways, everything else kind of come a little easier to you.
Man, you said a mouthful there, boy. You if you know and learn about fire control, um, there ain't nothing you can't cook on, or there ain't, if a wind storm comes up, wind starts blowing, you just put the meat on the other side if the wind's blowing, so there ain't nothing you can't fix once you understand how that fire is cooking the meat. So man, a lot of wisdom in that phrase there, my friend, no
Thank you,
doubt.
thank you.
So let's fast forward a little bit, man. How in the world did you end up um on the BBQ Showdown season 2 with Melissa Cookston and that bunch, man? How did you get to that point?
Well, it's very interesting. It had a lot to do with, I think, social media and COVID and everything that was going on. Me and my uncle said was doing a live at Kwaski, Wee Willie's Bar and Grill, and we was cooking 56 slabs of ribs. And I always did lives on YouTube just to do lives. And one day I looked on there and I'm doing a live, and next thing you know, we got 60 people on a live. Now we got 80. It went all the way up to like close to 30,000 people that was on that live. So I
Oh
think that
wow.
I think that live just kind of springboarded me up into like the public eyesight. And when that happened, uh Netflix reached out to me, and when they reached out to me, I thought it was my friends joking around. I thought it was like, oh man, my coworkers, they like playing games on me because they know that I really watched barbecue shows nonstop. I mean, even though if I knew who was gonna win, I still watched them because you pick up something every single time you watched Barbecue
Oh yeah.
Pitmasters or you watch Myron Nixon. I think it was called Smoke. When Myron Nixon had
Barbecue
his
Pit Wars.
barbecue pit wars, you always learn
Yeah.
something. So me, I always had that on just standby, just over and over again. So my buddies knew that, and they used to call me up and just play crude jokes on me, and say, "Hey, we're calling you. We want you to be on this." So
I
for
got you.
about a good couple months, they was calling me, and I was hanging up the phone. I thought it was a scam, and finally they got a hold of my wife, and my wife was like, "Honey, I think this the real deal." And we started the interview process, and they tell you that normally if they don't contact you, that you probably didn't make it. So I just thought I didn't make it, and then I remember them calling me. If I'm not mistaken, it had to be around December, and they said, "Hey, you're ready to be on Netflix BBQ Showdown." And it was one of those things that to this day I still have to pinch myself because I used to always say, and I still say, I'm God's favorite. Out of
Oh yeah.
all the people that could have did this, it could have been an opportunity to go on Netflix. It was little old big me, you know, uh, that was picked out of the bunches and bunches of people they had to have that put in applications and that interview for uh this opportunity. And
Right.
when I got there, I mean, it was a dream come true. It was something that I never experienced before, and it was just one of those highlights of my life, right behind accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and getting married and having kids. And then it was Friends, and then it's BBQ Showdown, season 2, calling T to come and compete.
I hear you, man. That's a pretty incredible story there. I can't. I bet your friends, when you got the real call though, I bet you could put it in their face. Then it was just like, don't even
Oh,
try that no
oh,
more, man.
oh yes, but one thing about it though, them guys was so ecstatic for me, so
Oh, I
happy for
bet.
me. I mean,
I bet.
it was just, you have to keep it a secret, but you had to tell some people where you was going, and people was pretty
Right.
excited for me.
Listen, man. As good a guy as you are, as hard as you work, and we've had the opportunity to hang out with you a little more than most. Thank goodness, man. We've been blessed to
Yes.
do that, but it's hard not to get excited when good things happen to good people. Um, I get excited for them. I mean, I love giving other people's money away at a contest or whatever. And folks say, how do you get excited about that? And I'm like, dude, if you knew how much work goes into behind the scenes to get to that point, um, I can't help but not be excited for them.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Yes, it's a labor of love.
so yeah, so $50,000 grand champion Netflix BBQ Showdown season 2. How much of your family's um, heritage recipes, um, how much of that stuff did you get to involve while cooking on that show versus, you know, just cooking out, doing a live video or doing a drive up cooking or whatever that's totally all of your family stuff?
Well, I tell you what, when I got there, I tried to the first episode. I remember just trying to be outside of the box. Like, I got to be a chef. I got to do what everybody doing. I just can't come out here with just mop style ribs. I just can't come out here just with a mop brush mopping. And I remember how much I got just beat down. And I remember going into the refrigerator, and I was looking for spare ribs. And I say I want to do one safe protein that was spare ribs, and they had baby backs. They didn't have spares, but they had these beef back ribs. And I grabbed the beef back ribs, thank God, and I used the mop sauce on the beef back ribs. I cooked the St. Louis style ribs on the Santa Maria, but I burnt my biscuits. I did. I kind of I didn't do a good job with my banana Fosters, and I remember just like hitting reset because Melissa Cookston, she kind of like, she did this thing she does where, people say that she looks at your stern and she makes you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm scared. But right then and there, she did the totally opposite. She gave me the confidence I needed. She said, Thyron, if burning your biscuits is the only thing you got to worry about a competition, then you'll be okay if that's all you have to worry about. And those words resonated in my soul. Those words encouraged me. And then I had Bledsoe. He gave me that Thyron, get your stuff together, because you need to, you supposed to be here and you should be here. So
Right.
those so that was a mixture of like the hard way. Bledsoe is normally like, hey guys, you can do it. and he had to take that route, and Melissa Cookson took that other route where she was like, like just giving me these encouraging words, and Bledsoe was stern at that first episode, but I needed all that for the second episode. And that's when, I used a recipe that I never cooked before, but I understood fire management. And that's when I made birria tacos and one that second episode, the spice is nice. So,
Right.
it was one of those things that sometimes you got to just shake off the nerves, shake off everything, and know you're supposed to be there and show up and show out.
There you go, man. It's hard. It's really hard to do that when you don't feel like you belong. But when you get that confidence going, and it's amazing at how people find that confidence in different things. Like, the crew there kind of lifted you up after that first one and got you on a roll there that carried you all the way through. But
Yes, sir.
man, when you get that confidence and you feel like you belong, it's a whole different story there. So
Oh my
definitely
goodness.
understand that deal.
Yes, sir.
Do you love barbecue? Join the National Barbecue and Grilling Association, host of Now That's Smokin' the Interview series. As the industry's heartbeat since 1991, we connect pitmasters and enthusiasts with needed resources, events, and community. Managed by Kel Phelps, your host of this series, membership unlocks insider tips and networking for any barbecue lover. Sign up at nbbqa.org and start fueling your passion today, because every grill deserves a champion running it. Now that's Smokin'.
So fast forward, man, just off of Barbecue Brawl, season 6, you went deep in the field, man. You went a good way here. So tell us about that experience, how that come about, how that deal I think is done out in Texas versus in Georgia, a little bit different time deals there. How did all that come about, and what can you tell us about that deal?
Well, I tell you what, it was somewhat of the same kind of bidding, but instead it was very short notice. It was close to 3 weeks. It was like, hey, we want you to be on Barbecue Brawl season 6. And it was one of those things where, you had to get everything in order. You had to get free up schedules, get your wife on board, get your kids on board. I had a senior in school at the time. So it was one of those things where I had to get everything organized, then playing for the long haul, because you don't go there to just participate. You go there to try to win, So
Right.
but going there, that was an opportunity when I went there, that I got to meet so many outstanding people, and the producers made us real comfortable. But going into that competition, I tell you what, when I seen Brad there, I was like shook to the core. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mama, I made it. I don't know if I want to make it, but may this cup pass me over this time.
I hear you, man.
And it was so many great competitors and so many people I have seen with these awesome restaurants, like Greg, he got 3 restaurants in Houston, Texas. Like Tyler got restaurants where he at, and Chef Antonia, Chef Bobby, Chef Monique. I mean, these people I grew up like watching for the last 20 years, and it's like a dream come true. Like, I had to really like pinch myself numerous times, like, Thyron, enjoy this. Enjoy this.
Right. Yeah, it's there's no way I could relax in a situation like that. I'd be so tense and probably overthink things. Probably wouldn't rest well. because you do this day after day. It's not week after week. Like the episode shows every week. You guys are going by days, right?
Yes.
So there's no way, man. I would fall apart. I would be a wreck after day one for sure.
Oh no, Kel, I seen you in I seen you and your wife perform in the hours when we need things to be done, and you're a get it done guy. I think you'll do amazing, bro, and that's just the truth. It's one of those things. It's all about adapting and overcoming. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
absolutely.
Cause what gonna happen is gonna happen, and you either gonna uh cry about it or you're gonna try to think of something to make it happen, and that's what barbecue's about. That's how
Right.
some of the best recipes come about. And one thing I liked it about that is I was still able to continue to show my family legacy with the mop sauce, with Grandpa's pecan rub. One of my biggest things, I remember Bobby coming over and trying my sausage, and Bobby told me that was one of the best sausages he ever had, and that was just like, wow.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff just like it resonates with you because you know, when you're doing something, you have somebody like Bobby Flay telling you that's something that he had was amazing that you cooked. And I had Kyle, the one that won the show. He's a good old Georgia guy, by the way, of Florida. He originally from Florida, but he lives in the mountains of Georgia. He said that I cooked some of the best pork he ever had in his life. I cooked a pork chop, and he said that was the best piece of pork he ever had in his life. Because he kept asking me, was that pork, Thyron? I said, yes. He said, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, that was a pork chop. And he couldn't believe it, and it was genuine. I remember at that time, Brad was on the sideline, and I remember Brad just kept doing this for me. He kept doing this like, yes, yes. When I was cooking the pork chop, when I was doing certain things, uh, uh, you know, that meant so much to me because
Right.
barbecue people, we cheer for each other. And
Oh
even
yeah.
though we have all that online, we have all that everything on 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 the line right there. Everything just, and he's sitting there. I mean, he's punching his hand. He's like, yeah. I mean, I'm watching him do this, and he's like, yeah. He's like, and that was like, give me that confidence. Like, oh man, I know I'm doing it right. For
Yeah.
Kyle to walk over there and taste that pork chop and say, man, Thyron, this is the best piece of pork I've ever had in my life. And he was just ranting and raving. And I'm like, well, I've done a cooked pork like that.
Mm.
I'm an ambassador of Iowa pork. I'm an ambassador of the state of Iowa, the pork capital of the
Right.
world.
Right.
Make a long story short, it was just things like that I cherish. And I just, man, and I tell you what, Kel, having Chef Antonio as a coach was one of the blessings of that show. And meeting Rodney Scott, meeting Brooke, meeting Carson, I'm telling you what, these people are incredible.
Yeah, indeed, man. That you know, from some of the behind the scenes and people that I've met that have done the shows, and a couple people who are involved in the backside of it. They talk about how incredible those people are to work with, and what kind of experience it really is. So let's talk about the not so good stuff, man. We all grew up old school trying to figure out the things you even talked about, learning you didn't even know you were learning, but you were just doing labor, kind of, sort of. But
Yes.
what is what's one of the biggest mishaps you've had in your barbecue career, or whether it was cooking at home,
Oh, my goodness.
eating out?
Yes, I got a story for you. I was over in Owine. It was not Owine. It was called Boomtown. It was one of my first big festivals, and I went to the meat house. Uh, I forgot the name of the meat house because I went to Sam's Club and they was out of spare ribs. And so I went to the meat house and they had these ribs called uh Bob Evans ribs, and you could get 9 slabs for $26. And and I say, man, give me 300 slabs of that. So ribs, and I put them on old Rusty, and I had 3 smokers, and I had probably about 120 slabs on all 3 smokers. And I'm cooking those ribs. They wouldn't get tender. They wouldn't get tender at all. I mean, when I say wouldn't get tender, I took them, I wrapped them in foil after 4 or 5 hours. They wouldn't get tender. And I remember unwrapping them out of the foil. They was in the foil for like 2 hours. The bone skinned all the way back. I mean, you could see about almost an inch and a half of pullback. And I went and biting the rib, but it wouldn't get tender. And make a long story short, that was the biggest mishap because I wouldn't sell the ribs. Well, come to find out, them was sow ribs. And what does sow do? A sow has babies. So the ribs stretch,
Right.
expand, stretch and expand, stretch and expand. So the ribs are like tough. So too many people don't cook sow ribs. They use those sow ribs to make bacon and take the bones off of them and grind them into sausages. So
Right.
I had to throw all those ribs away.
That's a lesson indeed.
Yes, sir. And the second lesson was on about 20 briskets. I went there. Old boy brought me a big old wood, a big wheelbarrow of free wood. He said, I was cutting down this tree and I know you do a lot of smoking, so you can have this wood. And I was cooking with it, and it was some of that wood wasn't as treated as a lot of other wood. And I threw some of that fresh hickory in that thing, and man, I'm talking, I had a beautiful color, smoky, but when I took a bite of it, man, it tasted like dish detergent. It was so strong and bitter. I and it just it was one of the biggest mishaps ever. And then the third mishap was me playing around with that doggone propane.
Yeah.
I,
That
I
sounds dangerous.
oh my goodness! So I had an old oil barrel grill, and I had a welder to weld me some propane assist on it, just a pipe with some propane going to the pipe. You're supposed to stick the lighter in there and light the pipe so you can get your wood started.
Right.
And that thing filled up with propane because I just hooked it up and I didn't know the propane tank was open. And I remember going down there and I smelled it. I like, well, it's real strong, but I'm gonna go ahead and light it. That thing said, "Whoo!" And the lid flew up, and no eyebrows, no mustache. I mean, oh my God. My wife come around the house. The kids were young back then. They run there, grab mom. Dad done blew himself up, mama.
Hey, we're glad you survived out of that one, my man. Yeah, that's a
Oh
lucky
my
one.
goodness. The good Lord was on my side.
I hear you. God is good, my friend. He
Yes,
is good.
sir. Yes, sir. But for all the mishaps were all learning experiences. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I mean, right now, I cherish wood now. It's like I got to know where it come from, how old it is, the moisture level, everything. because I
Right,
know what
right.
you can destroy wood in a grease fire. You can destroy a lot of food, a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely, man.
Oh, my biggest
Hey, with
mishap
that,
though.
we yep. Go
Oh,
ahead.
my number one mishap was I was this was about 10 years ago. I was pulling a old I got a grill welded up and I was pulling it down 150. And you could Google my name, it'll come up. And I was driving about 55 miles per hour. And I said, who's passing me 2 o'clock in the morning in this small town? And I looked over there and I see my barbecue grill passing me. And then it runs and it goes into the front of the people's house and busts through their garage door.
Oh
So,
mercy.
and I'm watching the grill and it jumped the curb and it went airborne. And this grill is you can put a couple hundred slab, you can put about 100 slab of ribs on this big old oil barrel. I mean on this
Good
well, it wasn't an
gracious.
oil barrel. I'm trying to think what it was. Well, it was a big old propane tank. And that
Propane
big
tank.
old
Yeah.
thing went, hit the curb, jumped over the curb, and Lord knows I thank God that it didn't kill anybody, but it went right through their garage and crashed. And I tell you what,
Good gracious, man. That is that's something else there now. Golly.
check your equipment. Check your equipment, guys.
And we'll be right back just a second, right after we pay a few bills.
Welcome to futureofq.com, the home of the next generation of barbecue and grilling legends. From young pitmasters to up-and-coming flavor creators, this is where passion meets smoke. Check out the free issues with videos, stories, competitions, and gear that fuel the fire for tomorrow's rising stars. Join the movement now and celebrate the future of Q. Visit futureofq.com today.
All right, guys, back from the break. Honored to have Thyron Mathews, barbecue superstar from all the different TV shows, and glad to have you with us, Thyron, man. Appreciate you come hanging out with us, telling your story. And man, I tell you what, has been a lot of fun hanging out with you, my friend, getting to know you, getting to watch your work ethic. Something that you don't see in the barbecue world a whole bunch today. You know, things are a lot easier than they used to be.
Yes, sir.
So what's your take on the technology of stuff, you know, the pellet cookers and all that versus, you know, you talked about burning coals down and shoveling coals under a pit. You know, what's your take on some of the advancements in the barbecue world today?
Well, I think it's amazing because once you get a pellet grill and once you get it, you get hooked, and then you always wonder, how good am I? Is this the grill or is it me? And that's when you find these guys that got a yard full of smokers. So I'm always blessed when a guy gets that pellet grill and they decide, you know, I wanna get me an offset smoker. I used to always love that because I used to have neighbors that do that. They'll get a pellet grill. They're like, man, I want that authentic smoke. I want that, and they'll go and spend the money and get that offset smoker and find out that oh, that's a whole different game. So, with that being said, it's kind of like working themselves backwards. So, I thank God for those kind of smokers because they help grow the sport, help grows barbecue. It helps
Absolutely.
introduce barbecue to a person that would never go out there and buy a $5,000 stick burner they can buy a $400 pellet grill, whatever brand they want to get, and then it gets them introduced. And I think probably about 20% of those people get hooked, and that's when they go and say, I want to go backwards. I want to go and get that flavor that I went to that restaurant that was cooking on an offset smoker. I want that
Right.
flavor, and they go backwards, and then they find out when they hit that learning ledge where they feel like, oh man, I learned how to do this on a calculator. I didn't learn the hard way. So
There you go.
either they're gonna press through it and learn and mess up a lot of meat and learn the hard way, or either they gonna sell me or another guy that's already that smoker on marketplace.
There
So
you go.
I thank God for pellet grills. I thank God for the technology because it's introducing people to barbecue and it's growing the love that I have, and it's also taking people to a place where they can experience that flavor and it hooks them. And now they're
Right.
traveling places, coming to see Big T, coming to Memphis, Smoke Slam to get some great barbecue, or they're traveling to New York City to the National Barbecue Association over there trying some authentic Southern style barbecue because they had
Right.
that pellet grill and they want to
Right.
experience more.
Right.
So, you know, as
Absolutely.
long as they keep growing, I don't have no problem with it, But it is a
Right.
difference. It is a
Oh yeah.
difference.
Oh
It's
yeah.
levels. It's levels when it comes to this barbecue thing.
Oh yeah. No doubt. No doubt, my friend. So when we talk about technology and stuff, let's talk about social media, man. I mean, you are a big player in the social media field in the barbecue world. So um, take us down that journey a little bit and tell us how all that got going and what we can see next coming from Thyron.
Man, first of all, I got to give a shout out to Anthony Aponte, AP. He's been
Damn.
man. He's been the man. I just a brother, friend. We actually met on a YouTube live. I have met all the guys that you see me with when I show up to Memphis, Smoke Slam. When I show up
Right.
to when we show up to Long Island, all those guys we met off of YouTube. We met off of YouTube.
How
And
about that?
social media has sent me brothers in barbecue and brothers in life. It sent me you, Kyle.
Yeah.
So social media is big to me because you're still sharing your story. You're still sharing that mop sauce. Because a lot of people, they know about spritzing. They know about
Right.
a lot of different techniques, but when they see you out there with that mop and you putting that mop on the meat, I have a lot of comments saying, I hope you clean that mop before you use it," you know? And it's good to educate people about the heritage
Right.
of that mop style barbecue.
Yes.
It's good to let them know that, hey, listen, before you judge, you need to get educated. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being ignorant. There's something wrong with wanting to stay ignorant. That's when you have a problem when you want to stay ignorant. So let me educate you a little bit when it comes to this mop sauce. So
Absolutely.
social media is doing a great thing. What we're looking for is hitting those big cities with that southern style barbecue. We're looking forward to going back to Memphis Smoke Slam. We're looking forward to going to Alabama. We'll be in Birmingham, Alabama in a couple weeks. Cooking at cooking on week 0.
Okay.
Mop style ribs, pulled pork. We trying to feed. We're cooking over 2,000 pounds of meat in one day.
Woo.
Yes, yeah, we got 130 pork butts we're cooking. We got probably about 200 slabs of ribs we cooking with some pork loin. So we're looking
That'll
forward to doing.
separate the men from the boys there now. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be down in Alabama. I mean, not Alabama, but we will be in Atlanta, Georgia, in October. October we'll be doing Atlanta, Georgia, Scott Brewery. Delilah's place. So
Okay. Yeah.
we have a huge tour going on, and we're gonna wind up in Royal, Florida, over in March. We'll be doing our Dreams of Smoke Rings uh, tour, and it's starting up in March down in Royal, Florida. So that's what we're working on, and social media is helping us to get known. So when we do come to people
Right.
town, they see the videos, and the first thing they want to do is knowing that are we hiring actors? Are we out there bribing people to say these are the best ribs I've ever had in my life? This is the best oxtail I ever had. This is the best hamburger I ever had. I mean, we went out there with a hamburger in Memphis. Smoke Slam, one of the biggest barbecue thing it is. Memphis Smoke Slam. We went out there with a hamburger, guys, and people was coming up to me, and I remember they were like, "What kind of hamburger this is? Oh, is this Wagyu? Is this?" And I'm like, "I don't think Wagyu in the budget."
Yeah,
But
absolutely not. Not when you're trying to feed about 20,000 people. Wagyu
no,
definitely ain't in the budget.
but things like that is really what drives our social media. It's the people around us. It's the people working together. It's the team camaraderie we have, and it's when people take that bite, and Anthony's there with a camera, or somebody's there with a camera, and experiencing that flavor bomb, experiencing that southern explosive taste in their mouth. Like Fourth of July in their mouth, and that's when you know that you're doing it right.
Absolutely, man. And I know you guys have a ton of fun on the shows and making making all those shows and all that stuff. But I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I bet the most fun you guys have is when y'all show up and they're cooking for people, and um, you said the key word, that experience. When people get to experience it with every aspect, whether they see it, hear it, smell it, taste
Mm,
it, feel
mm.
it,
Preach, preach.
that's what comes alive, man. And I guarantee you that's what keeps y'all going. I may be wrong, but I'm guessing, I'm
If
gonna go out on a limb and guess that's right.
if you wrong, I don't want to be right.
I hear you. I hear you.
Amen.
Honestly, man,
Amen.
that's what that experience is what kind of keeps us going, doing what we do.
Yes.
And man, folks like you guys who really bring the experience to life in different
Yes.
stories, different flavors. Man, there to me, that's what living's all about, no
That's
doubt.
what it's all about. Yes, it is. And everybody has their way of doing everything. But one thing our team love is that when we go somewhere, we want to put our best foot forward. And we have people like the meat stall. He's from San Diego, California. We got Jasper from Memphis, Tennessee. We got Cleveland, the Nashville, Tennessee. We have Anthony from New York that puts his spin on our recipes. We have such we got 40 back from Iowa, born and raised. We got such a mixture of our team. We all come together, put our hand together, and say, how can we show up and show out? And
Right,
and everything is based about getting that reaction, getting those people to ooh and ah, and that's why we just don't cook to cook to get the food out. We cook for the love and the passion, and if we don't eat it, we won't put it out. That's rule
right,
number one. That's rule number one, and that's why we love coming to a place like New York that's not known, Long Island, that was not known for having barbecue as a main staple, and going there and hitting them with that mop stick like a janitor and having those people ooh and ah waiting in line after line in the rain, in the rain and the wind, they're waiting in the line. That's what it's all about. And then you get them different proteins. You got burgers going over here. You got ribs over here. You got pork loin over here. You got turkey going over there. You know,
right,
we love to give people a barrage of different flavors and different textures, and they said it's the best turkey I ever had. That this is the best rib I ever had. This is the best pork loin that they think is turkey they ever had.
right,
Things
right,
like that. Things like that really, really, truly makes it happen. And I always
right.
think about those pork steaks. We was in New York.
Yeah,
You know, and I remember having those pork butts and my boy Rick, the meat stall. He came up to me. I said, "Well, they had pork steaks." He said, "They didn't. I just cut them up as pork steaks. We need to get food out, Thyron." I was like, "Okay." And we seasoned those pork steaks up, and to this day, that's on my menu, pork steaks. And
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
man.
everybody going wild about those pork steaks. And I say, when I got back to Iowa, I say, "Hey, they going on my menu." And this last week, we had 180 pork steaks, and we sold out like every last one of them.
Hey, there you go, man. I'm telling you. So I call that a poor boy trick right there, man. When we try to figure out how to, about like Jesus when he fed the 5,000 with the
Yes,
five vision loaves. Yeah, you just stretch that pork butt and you start making steaks. And
yes, sir.
yeah, man. That's a poor boy trick right there. But
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Adapt and
all right,
overcome.
my man. Well, listen, I can't wait to see the next. We're gonna try to catch you guys. I don't know Birmingham. Seemed like I'm booked up then, but we'll try to catch you guys maybe in Atlanta. We're definitely looking forward to next year. A couple other events with you guys. But hey,
Yes,
listen,
indeed.
man, we definitely appreciate you coming on, telling us who Thyron Mathews is, what he's all about, and
Yes.
can't wait to see the next chapter get started, my man.
Hey, man, you and your wife, thank y'all so much for being such amazing ambassadors for barbecue, for the good Lord in your family. I tell you what, from the first day my wife met you, because my wife met you and your wife first, and she just was hooked. And I tell you what, man, I'm blessed to have you in my life and your wife in my life. And I just want to say thank you so much, Kale. And tell Miss Janet, I said thank her so much for y'all guys work y'all butts off. I see you. I see y'all guys non-stop 18-hour days out there making sure these festivals get done. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know my team thanks you too. So you are seen,
Well,
brother,
man,
and thank you for inviting me here.
you got it, man. We sure appreciate the kind words, but man, that's just it is what we do. That's what we love, and we appreciate the opportunity to put superstars like you out in front of folks where you can show up and show out. No doubt, man. You make us all look good, brother. So
Amen.
with
Thank you,
that,
brother,
dude,
again.
you take care, my man, and we
Yes,
will
sir.
we will talk soon. And with that, guys, we're gonna wrap up right here, and that's Thyron Mathews, and now that Smokin third episode there. Man, I hope you guys learned a lot. Definitely know I did. I knew some of the story, but I didn't know some of the stories that we were learning. But anyway, with that, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. But with that, till next time, y'all keep it smoking, okay?
From serious backyarders to caterers, food trucks, and restaurants, cookersandgrills.com builds custom barbecue pits to fit your needs. We're talking top-of-the-line smokers, grills, and mobile units, custom built to your specs, finished right, and ready to feed any crowd. Cookersandgrills.com, where great barbecue begins.
Thanks for joining me, Kel Phelps, on this journey with Now That's Smoking interview series. A big thank you to our amazing guests and to you for listening and checking us out. Share your thoughts or questions with hashtag NowThatSmoking. Subscribe now for more barbecue tales coming, and catch us next time for another deep dive into the heart and soul of everything barbecue and grilling. Until then, keep it smoking.